this planet means to it. Generals came and told us at our Select Committee on Global Warming that it is a national security issue, global warming is. You need only look at what drought has done to Darfur to see how the consequences of global warming have had an impact there and many other places as well. But it's a national security issue, energy independence and global warming. Our dependence on foreign oil may well be one of the reasons we are in the Persian Gulf now. Secondly, it is an economic issue. Our economy, if we commit to reversing global warming, if we do so in a market-oriented way, and we can create a whole green revolution of jobs, of new jobs that are related to the survival of the planet. Wouldn't it be great to work in that profession? I know that many of you plan to do so. But we want everybody, people who have been previously shut out from certain aspects of our economy, to find a new vitality in what will happen next in terms of the economic impact. There's a Stern report in Britain that says if we don't do this, our GDP will go down. Countries who don't do this will lose GDP. So this idea that you lose jobs when you protect the environment is a complete fallacy. It is an environmental issue. We talk about the health of our children, protecting the environment, reducing the emissions going into the air is an environmental issue. It is a health issue. So whether it's our national security, our economy, our energy supply, our environment, for every way, it is important. It's also our moral responsibility. In working on fighting global warming and reversing it, we have some great alliances with mayors who understand this is local as a neighborhood, with presidents and prime ministers who understand this is as global as the planet, and with the evangelical community and other religious communities who understand this is God's creation, this planet, this nature, and we have a moral responsibility to protect it, to be good stewards of the environment. So working together in every possible way, science and faith, they are not contradictory. They both seek truth. They both have answers for us, and especially when it comes to protecting our beautiful environment, which is our legacy. So we have, again, if there were no other issue, but of course there are many others. But I believe that if we go down this path to reversing global warming, to addressing the climate crisis, that we as a country and we as a world will be lifting everyone up. It's long overdue. Imagine how many years had to go by for us to get in the situation that we're in. But science and technology have given us the answers. The price of oil has given urgency to some people who might not have been paying attention before. It's pretty thrilling, and it's all about you. It changes the studies that you take, your curriculum in school, the activities that you have outside. But let me tell you again, nothing good of any great merit happens here in Washington, D.C. without the outside mobilization. We can do all we want, internally maneuvering, persuading, counting votes, and the rest. But nothing is more eloquent to a member of Congress, a member of the United States Senate, hopefully a president of the United States, than the voice of his or her own constituents. So in a longer range, immediately and in a longer range, let's work together to get this done. You have more answers than we do because, again, you think in an entrepreneurial way. You have another generation. Your voices for your generation. And before I close, I just want to say another thing about the war. So much that we want to do for our society cannot happen because of this war in Iraq. First of all, let's try again. First of all, I think I'm in stereophonic sound. First of all, the tragic loss of life, over 3,500. Nothing could ever match that tragedy for our country. Our troops performed magnificently. We owe them a great debt of gratitude for their patriotism, their courage, and the sacrifices they and their families are willing to make. There are tens of thousands who are injured. We visit them on a regular basis. I'm going to have them at 4th of July at the Speaker's office. They were just there, a number of them from Walter Reed a couple of weeks ago. Breaks your heart to see the amputees, the injuries, the permanent injuries. That's why I was so pleased that we were able to pass a bill last week giving Veterans Health the biggest increase in the 77-year history of the Veterans Administration. $6.7 billion. So we want to have a plan that says, let's bring stability to the Middle East. Let's do what we need to do in Iraq in order to further that goal of stability to the Middle East. The generals tell us, not the sitting generals, the retired generals tell us that you can only bring stability to the Middle East when you redeploy the troops out of Iraq. Out of Iraq. We must bring our troops home. But this cost of war, over $1 trillion, well, cost and reputation throughout the world, almost irreparable. But soon we'll be able to reclaim America's rightful place in the community of nations. But it's a year and a half away, and we have a lot of work to do between now and then. We're over $1 trillion into this war. Think of what we could have done in terms of the alleviation of poverty throughout the world, not only in our own country, but throughout the world, caring for people who, HIV, AIDS, other infectious diseases, and the rest. But we didn't. But at least we know now that if we have the determination, we can find the money someplace. If we could find the money for war, we have to be able to find the money for war on disease, on poverty, and the rest.